Right, it's 7:55 AM this morning on OTB AM, the sports breakfast show from Off the Ball. OTB AM is sponsored by Avantcard, powered by MasterCard. It's time to talk football.
These are the same players that threw Marino under the bus, and they will do exactly the same to Ollie.
10 questions on Manchester United for Stephen Kelly this morning. What impact would Harry Maguire coming in for up to 90 million have on the dressing room? Does he fill a centre half hole? Can he have a transformative impact on the side? Or does everybody look, what the hell are you doing spending 90 million on this guy?
There'll be question marks first. Obviously there's going to be question marks first. Like we discussed this, we've had question marks about Van Dijk for the price he came for, and obviously now you'd pay double that for him because of what he's done. Is Harry Maguire as good as Van Dijk? I don't think so. Is he going to have the same impact Van Dijk has had on Liverpool? I don't think so. Can he play football? Is he easy on the eye to watch? Yes. Is he going to completely transform that defence on his own? I'm not too sure. I think Koulibaly would be a better defender than what he is. I think Harry Maguire is very good at bringing the ball out, and he sees that. And don't get me wrong, he's a good defender. He'll head in, tackle and win things. But will he completely change or transform that defence? I'm not too sure.
Is he world class? Is Harry Maguire world class? Because they're paying world class money for him.
They're paying we could prove us all wrong in a year from now, and he could go on to have the most unbelievable season for Manchester United. And like I said, we did have these questions about Van Dijk when he did come in, but I just don't see Harry Maguire on the same level as him. So for like the fact that Leicester, even if they got anything near 75 million for, you'd think they'd bite their hand off. Like, they obviously rate him highly if they're considering holding on to him for that price, but you think they would be thinking, right, this is...
But, maybe they're looking at what happened with Van Dijk, and there was the first nibble at Van Dijk, and then they got the super price at Christmas, so maybe they think they'll get the super price at Christmas anyway, and like Maguire can play or not play in the meantime. Van Dijk barely played for Southampton in the meantime. The other thing that strikes me about all this is, and it was kind of a bit of a wild conspiracy theory when Man City were showing interest in it earlier in the season. I actually now fully believe that Man City never had any intention of signing Harry Maguire. Yeah. They were just like, let's rep that price up.
Yeah, let's just get it up. Yeah, almost like, it was just like get the price up and put Man U out of condition for signing someone else. But with Bali being out now, he's out for 5 months, 6 months, they're saying, with injury. So they could get that crazy price now, because Man U could be in more of a desperate situation to pay more for someone. And like I said, supposedly you see in the paper talk that Solskjaer's having talks with Woodward to try and get it done. So that could make them offer that extra little bit of cash to get it sealed. If
you're Solskjaer, you don't care about the cost, right? You just want to get the player in, and haggling now over money when they could have had Maguire in training for the last 2 weeks, meeting his new teammates, building up a rapport.
You don't care about the cost, but then the cost could come back to bite him if Solskjaer's pushed this one through and doesn't turn out to be an amazing centre-back signing like everybody. But like, what they have there at the moment are players that need a strong, like Jones and Smalling, they need a strong character beside them, I think, for them to perform well. They're not bad, they're good defenders. They're playing a Man U, they're good defenders, but they need someone beside them that can really be the leading leader. And will Harry Maguire step into that role and improve them?
Which he has to do for what they're asking him to do. Okay, next question. When the continental transfer window closes, will Paul Pogba be a Manchester United player? And briefly, if he stays, how should Ole Gunnar Solskjaer use him?
I think he will be there. I think Real Madrid seem to have so much going on in the background. They're the only team that seem really interested. And I know Juventus have talked about it, but I can't see that happening. Real seem to be the ones that are pushing for it, and with all the kind of disgruntlement and stuff going on in the background there, I can't see them getting the funds together to. So if he is there, Solskjaer almost, will he make him captain? Will he make him the role, give him a key role in the team? He has to. I think to get the best out of him, he needs to love him. He needs to put his arm around him. He needs to tell him that he's the greatest player in the world and that I see everything being going through you. And I think that's how you get your most out of Paul Pogba. But if his head is being turned and if he's looking to get away, then I'm not sure that anything Solskjaer can do. He might just be in a foul mood because he didn't get his dream move to Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, although if you're him, you think you may as well play well this season because that Real Madrid move will happen. But if you go off the ball and somebody else starts playing brilliantly, who might be a better foil for Eden Hazard, Real Madrid might think again. So it's worth your while if you're Pogba to play well.
You think that? That's what that's what most people would have in their mindset. But some players just have the ability to think, no, I should have been done and hold it against the club. I don't know what Pogba's mindset is. I've never met him, but
part of a midfield three for if he stays, that's where
you would think it'd have to be a midfield three with the players they brought in. And like I said, if Dybala happens now, that would have to be a three.
Okay, out of 10, how legitimate do you think the idea is that Dybala could come to the club? Is he the type of player that they need, and where does he play?
I think it looks like it could happen. Lukaku seems determined to get himself out, so for that to happen, they're going to have to either get a lot of money for him, or it's going to be a swap deal for someone, and Dybala fits that because he's going to be worth a lot of money. He's very talented, he's great on the ball, offers a lot of options, like in pockets, but will he fit into a system? Like I said, we don't know what system Manchester United are going to play. We don't know who his best team is. If you're going to bring him in, you need to really play him. And he plays well off the right, coming in and linking up. He also plays well in a 10 role, but then again, you're kind of disrupting Paul Pogba's ability to get forward and join in. So it's a conundrum, all right.
I'm not sure about this at all.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a FIFA signing.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That's what this is. It's somebody who looks good in your ultimate team, and because he's got certain attributes. But on an actual practical level, in terms of how Manchester United are going to play. So say you said they play with a midfield 3. That means they play with an attacking 3.
Yeah.
That means, where does Paulo Dybala play? Right at a 3.
Yeah.
Whereas he played for Juventus since Cristiano Ronaldo's come in. Right at a 3. What was his worst season and what position was he in? Right at a 3.
What was his best season?
In the 10 role.
10 role, yeah.
Before Ronaldo came. He's gone from 22 goals in Serie A to 5 goals last season. Granted, goals aren't everything, especially when Cristiano Ronaldo's in the team, because everything has to go through him, and set pieces, penalties, whatever it may be. But still, I think that drop off in figures when a guy is in the peak of his career is really stark. This is the guy that we put up there with the likes of Kylian Mbappe as the next era, the next Messi, Ronaldo. Besides someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, he's supposed to be thriving. It hasn't happened. I think there's a lot around this guy that just would worry Manchester United fans. I think if Spurs sold Christian Eriksen and used the Eriksen money to buy Paulo Dybala and put him into 10 role, be a way better fit.
Oh, much better, yeah. I think he's a much better fit for Tottenham than he is for Manchester United, because Pochettino has a system that he would fit into, and he would almost get a system to play around it. But obviously that would mean Eriksen going to fill that, whereas I don't think, if you have Eriksen, you're not going to bring in Dybala, because it's just going to be a conflict of interest, basically, I think.
Well, is there no way that they can play together? Is there no way you can just play... you can play a number 10 and still have a 3-man midfield? Like, I don't know if it's a diamond or there's ways, or if it's like that 3 is actually 2 and
Potentially.
it's a... Pogba plays in between the 2 at the base of your midfield.
They did it with Jesse Lingard last year as kind of the tip of the diamonds, but that would have to be a very different role than what Jesse Lingard did, because he was there for what he did off the ball or out of possession. So, like, are you putting him in at the tip of the diamonds, and you have Marcus Rashford as one of the 2, and who is the other person?
You just have Rashford and Dybala up front, right?
Okay,
and,
so it's 2 and then somebody...
2, yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a way to work that out where he's not playing on the right of a 3.
Yeah, well, if he's doing the 2 up front, then he's just naturally going to drop into holes and positions behind the front man, because that's where he likes to operate. He likes to operate in those little pockets where he can receive the ball and turn, and then he does like the end of the box as well. All of his goals are scored inside the box because he kind of comes in late. It's very difficult because, again, from outside, you kind of look and thinking, what system are they going to play? What shape are they going to play? How is it going to all set out for them? And you just don't know. And through pre-season, it's hard to tell what's their best team going to be. And so it's difficult. But is he a talent? Yes, he's a very good footballer. But he needs the right team to play in, and he needs to have the right system to suit him.
Yeah, and look, I think that's the big unknown, is that Solskjaer came in, inherited the situation that he had, made a good fist of it for 10 weeks, made a terrible fist of it for the second 10 weeks, and now for the first 10 weeks of the season we're going to get an opportunity to see what his philosophy is, what his style of play is. I mean, maybe he's an old school 4-4-2 guy, and he's going to try and play Paul Pogba as one of a 2 in the middle of midfield. Who knows? Yeah. With 2 wingers called Giggs and Kanchelskis. Quick answer here. Have you seen much of Bruno Fernandes, and is he going to Manchester United?
I've not seen that much of him, but I've heard a lot about him. He's supposed to be an absolutely outstanding player.
He definitely exists,
yeah,
does he?
He exists. I think he exists, yeah. I think he does, yeah. It must do for that fee. But I think Man U seem to be very keen on him, but whether or not they're going to get him, and again, will he fit into their system that they play? I don't know. Like they just seem to be targeting the highest players that are out there at the moment, the biggest money players, like they were linked with De Ligt, and that didn't happen. Fernandes now, it looks like he was gone because there was issues that he looked like he'd said goodbye to teammates and stuff like that. So whether it's to Man U, I'm not too sure, but he's a talented player.
What type of player is he?
He's got a bit of everything, really. Have you seen him play? No,
I haven't seen enough of him.
Yeah, he offers a bit of everything to them. Like he's very good in the ball, gets forward well, picks a pass. He's just a bit of an all-rounder, like, and
is he under Herrera again?
Yeah,
is he under Herrera? Is that slightly better? They hope.
Herrera, but more agile, more athletic, gets around better than he does. So I would say that'd be
okay. So as a replacement for in terms of the squad where he's going to play. Okay. This one I think is impossible to answer, but because apparently Martial is tearing up trees in pre-season. Who starts up front for Manchester United against Chelsea? Opening day of the season.
I think he'll go with Rashford, even though Martial has looked very impressive in the front row. I think he looks very good in that position. But again, he's looked very good on the left as well, whereas I think he's been better on the left than what Rashford has been. So I would say Rashford up the middle, and then Martial is still going to be important and can give you goals from the left-hand side as well. If you have both them on the pitch with the pace that they offer, and keeping him fit, like I think he's probably been arguably the best player over the last couple of seasons when he's been fit and played well and showed a bit of confidence. But him on the left-hand side, I like him coming in because he has a tendency to drift inside and nick goals from you.
So, to go back to the debate, where is it possible that they do play, if Dybala happens, that they do play him as part of a front three, and on the left it's Martial up front, it's Rashford, and so he didn't play particularly well with Cristiano Ronaldo, but I mean that's probably has something to do with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, no, I accept that. Yeah,
you know, but maybe he plays much better as part of a partnership or a trio with those two.
Yeah, who are both willing to be team players. Certainly Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, well, they're not going to have that ego because they haven't warranted it yet at this point. Like, if Cristiano Ronaldo's in your team, you're going to get the ball to him because he's going to score your goals. That's what you do. Let's face it.
And if he doesn't get it, he's going to puff and blow the house down.
So, whereas if you have Martial, Rashford, and then Dybala, it look on paper that looks very good. Looks like a good front three, and it looks like players that can get you. There's goals between the three of them. It's not just all going to be focused on one player. But if you're going on what he's done last season in that position, and it's not been his greatest.
This is be careful what you wish for, Man United fans. Will Lukaku be missed when Manchester United need to grind out a midweek result against mid-table opposition? Good man to score you 2 goals.
Yeah, you know, I think Lukaku, he scored goals, obviously, apart from Manchester United, everywhere he's been, and I always feel like he's a player that technically he's not the best in the world, and you see sometimes ball bounces off him and he can be frustrating to watch because as a big imposing centre forward that you want to bring people into the games, you think his first touch lets him down at times, but he gets goals, and I think any manager worth their salt could have got goals from him, and a team like Manchester United where they should create more chances for someone, he should have scored bundles of goals for this team. Obviously, he wasn't loved that much by Mourinho, and Solskjaer's come in and kind of taken on that mantle where he doesn't really care for him. So I think his confidence has dropped, and he just doesn't feel like he's wanted there. So he's desperate to go, but he could be missed. The form he was in, he's not going to be missed because he wasn't in that great form. But that's based on the fact that he hasn't played that much.
What about Alexis Sanchez? Is there anything that they can do to rekindle, rescue, reclaim that project?
It's so hard to tell because, like I said, at Manchester, at Arsenal, he was phenomenal. He was one of the best players every time he got, but he had so many touches. I think there's a big statistic about how his touches have changed so much. And so when he was at Arsenal, the ball, one of the first passes was to find him. So if he was having 50 touches, 25 of them will turn out in something. At Manchester United, he's getting a lot less. So
and further away from goal as well.
Yeah, further away from goal. Yeah, so it was turning out like he's a very good player. At Barcelona and Arsenal, he's been excellent. Man U's not got it, but I think it's based on the way they've played. They've not got the ball to him as much, and they've had other players in the team that they've tried to find before him, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I saw those stats as well, and they basically just haven't got the best out of him. I don't necessarily blame the Manchester United management for that because at Arsenal he was their talisman.
He was a one.
Like even with Ozil in the team, he was without question their most effective player in the offensive third. Sometimes he wasn't that player for Manchester United, or certainly they had other talents in that area of the park that they wanted to bring into the game. So I think they've kind of lacked a little bit there. Like I'd love to see Alexis Sanchez just tried out in kind of a false 9 role or something like that. Just get him as close to goal as possible in a position that would allow Alexis Sanchez to be to do not that much around the rest of the park, but have him as close to the opposition goal as possible and just see what happens, because the way he's been played on the left flank just hasn't worked for United.
And he's got a phenomenal work rate when you watch him as well. Like he does try, like well, Arsenal, the effort he would put in, and when he gets the ball in tight areas, his ability to turn in small tight areas and get facing the goal quickly is excellent. So again, another extremely talented player who's just not done at Manchester United, which just makes you think that the club don't seem to be getting the best out of players.
No, there's something rotten in the culture at the moment. One word answer here. What percentage chance do Manchester United have of getting back into the Champions League this season? Is it bigger than 0?
35%.
All right, that's a good chance.
I think so.
It's an E plus.
Yeah.
Still failed.
Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer definitely going to be the Manchester United manager on Christmas morning? Their first 7 games: Chelsea at home, Wolves away, which is obviously very difficult for Manchester United, Palace at home, Southampton away, Leicester at home, West Ham away, Arsenal at home.
So you list off that fixtures list. These are Manchester United's fixtures, and I'm like, they're tough fixtures. If you said these are Manchester City's fixtures, I'd be like, they're actually grand fixtures.
Perfect, and
all those away trips, it's like
6-7 years ago, you would have said, it's okay, it's Manchester United.
Yeah.
So
6-7 years ago, I'd be like, they might drop a point against Chelsea and maybe against. They won't drop points against Arsenal. Yeah. Now it's like, will they win any of those games? I'm not sure. I mean,
it's
will they go to Southampton and win? I'm not sure.
That's the thing. They could be. The Man U that turns up, that doesn't turn up, could be turned over by Southampton. That's the issue that they're having. They're not consistent. They don't have, teams don't fear them anymore. And when they go into a game, you don't know if everybody's going to, if 10 every 11 players are going to perform. A lot of time it's like 6 are performing. They're not, and then the players that they expect to step up aren't stepping up. So with them, anything can happen, and he could totally be gone before Christmas.
Yeah. The hashtag Glazers Out trends almost every night on Twitter. Do you think any of that negativity seeps through to the squad, or is it just outside their bubble?
No, it doesn't. No, as a player, anything that's happening off the field and since the boardroom and stuff, unless it's actually directly affecting you, it doesn't really matter. You just get on with your game, and your main focal point from the club and your main person is the manager. So unless it's affecting him and he's letting it show, like if he's getting a lot of pressure and then he's showing that around the training ground, or showing it in his mannerism has changed slightly, or he's not as upbeat or whatever, if that's happened to him, then it'll affect you. But if the manager's not getting affected by it and he's trying to shield them, it shouldn't affect you as a player.
Okay. What was the best Manchester United team you played against?
The one with Cristiano Ronaldo in it. So he left in 09. Yeah.
So that was Ronaldo, Rooney, Ferdinand, Vidic, the works, basically. That would have been my best one. I did get to play against Keane, Roy as well for a little bit, but it was coming towards the end. But yeah, the best team I would have played would have been the Rooney, Ronaldo. They were just, you go to Manchester United and not really think you're going to get anything. Yeah. You know, if you came away with a draw, it was an amazing result. And how did everybody think that in the team? Like, was it ever spoken about?
You didn't think it. And you would never, as a professional footballer, you would never.
It looked that way.
Yeah, but you would.
From the outside, it looked like every team going there was like, oh, we're already beaten here.
Yeah, you would never. Going into every game, you have to believe you can win it, and that probably sounds stupid, but you have to think, right, we can get something here. But then, you know that if you got a result, if you got a draw, you'll be absolutely elated, you'd be delighted. So it's in the back of your mind that a draw here is amazing. If you had to come away with anything, it would be great. Just not getting beaten. But you know going into the game that it's going to be a difficult task, because they just, like everyone, they had so much talent and they had so much tenacity about them. Like, they were aggressive all over the pitch. Like, Rooney was aggressive, like hassling you, chasing you down. Ronaldo was just flying winger, but that was scoring like 30 goals a season from that position. So they were a phenomenal team.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, that's enough Manchester United. We're going to be back with Deal or No Deal after these.